Good evening, everyone. The Zoning Board of Adjustment regular meeting of June 24th, 2026 is now in session. Will everyone please stand for a salute to the flag? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Notice of the meeting has been satisfied in accordance with Chapter 231 PL 1975 by advertising in the Home News Tribune, notifying the Sentinel Publishing Company and the Star Ledger, and also posting on the bulletin board and filing with the Borough Clerk. Roll call.
Mr. Green,
Here.
Mr. Kaczynski,
Here.
Mr. Esposito,
Here.
Mr. Emma,
Here.
Mrs. Gottstein,
Here.
Mr. Cooper.
Here.
Our first applicant tonight will be 2618 175 Oak Street. Would you please come up?
Please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. All right, you're under oath.
Would you tell the board exactly what you want to do in reference to your application?
Yes, sir. So I currently am looking to replace a 4-foot vinyl fence that's next in my property with a 6-foot vinyl fence. You guys have a copy of the survey. It's outlined on that survey of where the 6-foot fence is going to be placed.
Am I correct by reading the schematic that you sent us that it's 24 feet in front and 47 feet to the side?
It's 74 feet in the front and then 47 feet down the side. And there's a little section about 6 foot that comes off the house.
And this will be 6-foot vinyl?
Yes, sir.
Any questions of the board concerning this application?
Is there an existing fence that's there?
Yes, sir.
What kind of fence is that?
There's a 4-foot chain link fence and there's arborvitaes that are in front of it.
You're going to replace that fence?
Yes, sir.
This fence.
Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to open it to the public. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak in reference to this application? Hearing none, I close the public portion. What's the pleasure of the board concerning this application?
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this application. Roll call.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Yes.
Mr. Esposito,
Yes.
Mr. Emma,
Yes.
Mrs. Gottstein. Yes. Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Okay, your application's been approved. We will memorialize it on the 22nd of July. There's no need for you to be here. And then after that, you can go and get your permit at the construction office.
Okay.
And proceed with the fence.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, council. Yes, ma'am.
The second applicant is 2619 48 Buttonwood Drive.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Can you give your name for the record?
My name is Thomas Doris.
How do you spell the last name?
Dores.
Sir?
Biju Sen, I'm the homeowner.
So, just to be clear, you're not the applicant.
I'm the applicant's architect.
Applicant's architect? Okay.
I don't need to be there.
He's the
You're
applicant.
the applicant. So let me get your name and let me get you sworn in and your name on the record. All right, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Thank God.
Yep. And what's your name for the record?
Biju Sen.
Sir, would you tell us what you want to do with the property at 48 Buttonwood?
The owner is installing a rear and side facing addition that will accommodate an expanded bedroom, kitchen, and dining room. The applicants are concerned with or would like to age in place, and so they're expanding the ground floor living area. Additionally, there is a carport on the side of the house that is currently encroaching the side yard setback. They intend on reconstructing that, and it's in its existing location. It's currently a roof structure supported by 3 columns, so they will rebuild the 3 columns and roof. The addition also encroaches on the side yard setback. So our 2 variances are the side yard setback on the left side of the property, and we're also asking for a building coverage variance. We are currently the house is at 18.1%, and the new addition, which is approximately 475 square feet, will bring us to 26.7% building coverage.
And this is an addition on the kitchen and the bedroom and bathroom, am I correct?
Right, across the rear of the house, and then it extends to the left side.
The front of the house, there's no construction at all, correct?
No.
Any questions from the board concerning this application?
I do the,
Well, sorry to jump in. Technically, the carport is on the side of the house, but it is adjacent to the front wall of the house.
Okay.
the addition is not going to go past the carport.
No, it is not.
Is the addition 2 stories?
One story.
Any other questions?
No changes to the second floor.
No.
Yeah, we always ask this question. It's going to remain a single-family house?
Yes.
Going to open this to the public. Is there anyone from the public wish to speak in reference to this application, 48 Buttonwood? Hearing none, I close the public portion. It's the pleasure of the board concerning this application.
I move the application be approved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mrs. Bernstein?
Yes.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Okay, your application's been approved. We'll memorialize it at our next meeting on July 22nd. After that date, you can stop and get the permits and start the process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The third applicant is 261733 Elm Terrace.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
I do.
All right, you're under oath.
Could you tell us what you want to do with your application?
And we need your name for the record.
Oh, Michelle Stabile. I would like to put a shed in my backyard that is bigger than the allowance. The one we would like is 288 square feet. We are on a slab. We don't have an attic. We don't have a basement. We don't have a garage. So we have nowhere to store a snow blower, lawnmower, weed whacker, garden tools, all the lawn stuff. I have 3 stepchildren that live with us, part-time. Their bikes, their sport equipment, summer furniture, any extra, paper towels and things like that. We just don't have room for in the house.
So it's just a shed to store the stuff for your house.
It's a shed to store things, but we will need bigger than 150 square feet just because of the size of things we need to store.
Are the dimensions of your proposed shed 12 by 24 feet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it looks like the setbacks are 5 feet and 5 feet, so there's no variance there. It's just the size of it.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, there's actually 3 variants. It's not only the size of the shed, it's the building coverage. Ordinance requires 20%, they have 24, and then total impervious coverage, ordinance requires 45, they have 46.
Got it. Any other questions from the board concerning this application? Hearing none, I'm going to open this to the public. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak in reference to this application?
Well, just to clarify for the record, you'll obviously have electric there. Are
In
you
the
putting-
shed?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Lighting, no lights?
No, we're not going to run lights. We have, like the caps on top of, they're solar powered on top
Gotcha.
of my fence. Yeah, we're not running any electricity through the
Okay.
shed.
No plumbing? Because, you know, basically
No.
what I guess what we're asking and trying to guard against is someone resident, you know, someone living.
Oh,
there. So-
no, I'm not
Okay.
trying to move anyone and no
Gotcha.
man cave or she shed, just for storage.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hearing no one from the public, I'm going to close the public portion. Is there any more questions from the board? It's a pleasure to board concerning this application.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mrs. Gottstein? Yes. Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Okay, your application's been approved. It's the same as the last one, the 22nd of July. We'll memorialize it and you can stop down at the construction office and pick up your permits and proceed.
Okay, thank you.
The fourth one is 2614, 27 Adam Boulevard.
Both of you, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You're both under oath, and I can give each of your names for the record.
My name is Eugene Gerleski.
Laura Songquist.
In reference to your application, can you tell the board exactly what you want to do there?
I'm looking for a variance for a proposed shed, a 12 by 16 shed. That's over the square footage of 150 feet. Square feet.
So the proposed shed is 192, 150 is the max.
What are the dimensions of the shed?
It's 12 by 16.
Okay. And it's located in the back corner on the right-hand side if you're looking at your front door.
Correct.
And I don't see on the drawing, I don't see distances from the property line to the shed. Do you know?
So it's going to be about 5 foot off the fence. So the fence is in further than the property line. I don't know the exact dimension.
Both the rear and the side,
Yeah.
5 feet, okay. And just like before, any electrical, any plumbing?
No electric, no plumbing, no.
Okay, thank you.
Just for storage, correct?
Just for storage, yes.
And you have a fence up there already, correct?
Yep.
Any other questions from the board? Hearing no questions from the board, I'm going to open this to the public. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak in reference to this application? Hearing none, I close the public portion. What's the pleasure of the board concerning this application?
Second. Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mrs. Gottstein? Yes. Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Okay, the application's been approved. The 22nd of July, we'll memorialize it here. You don't have to come to that meeting. Just stop down at the construction office and pick up your permit and start the shed.
Great, thank you.
Our next application is 2604 5 Fisher Street.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Prior applications are a tough act to follow.
Over here good or on the other side?
Okay. My name is George Pressler. I'm an attorney at law for the state of New Jersey. I represent the applicant, Fisher Street Associates. Their application is a request for an approval for a use variance to be added to the existing use to permit a future medical facility. We also, in the application, asked for a site plan waiver. We represent to the board that there is no intention of making any changes to the existing building, and the footprint of the building will not be changed at all. The premises located at 5 Fisher Street is the subject of this application, and it is at block 169.01, lots 6.02, 7.01, 8.01, and lot number 9. What triggers this application is the fact that it is in an R7 zone, a residential zone. With me this afternoon is our planner and architect and engineer, Walt Hopkin. And if there's no questions at this time for me, I'd like to have him sworn.
I want to advise that there's only 6 members of the board tonight, so at your choice, when it gets time to voting, you can either have it voted on tonight or at the next meeting.
I think we're okay.
You don't have to make a choice right now.
We're going to go forth with it, with the application.
Raise your hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
If you could give your name for the record.
Sure. Walter Hopkin, Hopkin.
Would you set forth your qualifications to act as a planner and as an engineer for the board, please?
I don't take it. Yeah. Yes, I have a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from Drexel University. I'm a licensed engineer in the states of New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. I'm a licensed planner in the state of New Jersey. I'm a licensed certified municipal engineer in the state of New Jersey.
I'm going to stop you right there. We'll accept your credentials.
Thank you. I have had the pleasure of being qualified before this board, actually with the previous use variance in this application. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'll briefly orient the board to the site, go over what's proposed, and then take any questions and go into the proofs for the use variance. It's a 26,561 square foot site. It's on the southwest corner of MacArthur and Fisher, also known as block 169.01, lots 6.02, 7.01, 8.01, and 9, located in your R7 zone. The surrounding uses to the north are residential across Fisher. To the south, on the other side of the road is Wawa. To the east is a church, and to the west is vacant, I believe it's municipal land. As the board may or may not know, it's currently an existing hardware store that takes up the majority of the space. There is an existing tenant there that I understand that the lease is about to expire in October. The applicant has been approached about potential medical uses at the site, and it would be their intention to convert this from the warehouse to completely medical office. What's proposed besides the use are no changes to the site. What currently exists there is paving, lighting. This was all approved back in 2017 with the use variance to allow the hardware store and various retail uses at that time. There is no changes to the footprint, no additional paving, no striping. Everything is to remain the same. There's currently 41 parking spaces on the site, which currently supports both the hardware use and then also the medical use. There was one space that I believe CME or Artheon's office, Mr. Cornell identified that was partially off the site. So we've excluded that from the calculation. So for the proposed, we're saying 40. The applicant's going to seek permission for that one parking space that encroaches onto adjacent property. We don't need it though. The applicant also asks to affirm what's happening now, which is in a small portion of 3 or 4 parking spaces, there's an outdoor seasonal display area that has been identified on this as the small brown shaded area. And if you've been by the site lately, you'll see a small tent with some seasonal items that are under there. As long as the current hardware use is in place, they would ask permission to allow that to continue to remain. When it's converted to medical, they would remove that. The parking complies now and would comply with all medical. I believe your professionals have reviewed our calculations for that and concur. And there are some various sheds and material, we'll call it to the south of the site, which are slightly off of the applicant's property, and I believe it's on the municipal property, and they would agree to remove those. That's it for what's proposed on the site. There are a lot of, or several variances and waivers that were previously granted. I don't know if the board has questions about what's proposed or how you'd like me to proceed next.
Any questions for the board?
I have a question. What kind of medical site are you talking about?
Just a general medical office, like a doctor's office?
How many doctors?
That's a very good question, right? And I skipped that in my testimony. So we would be limiting that to a maximum of 8, which is what the site's parking supports. I'm not an architect. I think that's a lot for this space, but that's what we would agree to limit as the maximum.
Did you ask how many doctors? You said 8 doctors?
Yes.
4 or 8?
It's 4 doctors.
6? What's the difference?
It's 8.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I just explained to the board, the project is split into phases.
Okay.
The first phase is going to allow the existing hardware store to remain, and the other 2 vacant uses are going to be medical. They have 2 exam rooms each, and they're requesting a total of 4 doctors for those 2 medical uses. So when you combine that with the hardware store use, it works out to 37 parking places required. That leaves the extra 3 that they're going to use for seasonal storage. Second part of the proposal is to change the hardware store to medical use. That is going to have 7 exam rooms, but they've agreed to allow 4 doctors. The total will be 8 doctors. Your ordinance requires 5 parking places per doctor. So if it's 8 doctors, 5 parking places, that's 40 parking places, which is what you have on the site. So they don't need any variances. That's how the layout is set up based on the plan set.
Okay, thank you.
I couldn't have said it better. Thank you, Mr. Cornell.
What are our proposed hours of operation for the doctor's office?
So it would be 8 to 8, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, Sunday 9 to 1.
We're talking about either 4 doctors in the beginning or 8. Those are all the doctors that are present at one time. Will there be other doctors coming and going, like sharing hours?
I don't have the answer to that. I don't think the applicant has the answer to that, but perhaps you'd like to hear directly from her. Because this is something that she's proposing, but I don't know that she has any current applicants or tenants at this time.
Please
We can have a
raise your
sworn.
right hand. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. My name is Alexandra Conti. Good afternoon. The owner of Fisher Street Associate. I don't have a tenant now, so I don't really have an answer for that question. But as any other just specialist or doctor office, sometimes you have 1, 2 doctors. If it's a dentist, it could be 2 dentists, and then that's what is on the office plus the hygienist. So that is what I have in mind, but I don't have a tenant now to give you a specific answer for that question.
What triggered this application is she had an opportunity to have a proposed tenant visit the site, which she did. And I believe it was a dentist.
It was an orthodontist that came.
And then, so that, then they went to the board,
Zoning.
zoning officer. And Annie said that we would have to go before the board for a use variance for that. This is what has triggered the application. My client is, her plans are that she will ultimately, hopefully retire and rent out the entire premise and with doctors there.
So right now, this is just the beginning. You're going to start to advertise and see what you come up with,
Exactly.
either a dentist or a doctor,
Correct.
and then take it from there if they want to expand or whatever the case may be. Am I correct?
Correct. Yeah, the idea is to find through a real estate agent or myself to find tenants for the space. The 2 suites that I have now, because I keep the hardware store working, the 2 suites that are going to be available to find a tenant could be a nice space for a dentist, orthodontist, or a specialist doctor. So that's my goal, to find a good tenant. Those are reliable, long lasting. They don't create noise. Usually it is by appointment, a specialist doctor office. So it's not too much traffic also.
So you won't get any hours or anything until you get a tenant in there, and then you'll know it
I
at that point.
Look around. We have one specialist doctor office in Main Street, very close to our city hall. And to tell you the truth, I didn't notice it until I was thinking on a tenant like that. They have the schedule. They open at 9 in the morning, but my hardware store opens at 8. That's why I keep the 8 a.m. And they open at 9 and close at 6 p.m. most of the days. And then they have 2 days that they close later at 7, I guess, permitting patients to come after work. And they don't work on Sunday, and it's very close here. So that's why give me the idea that would be perfect for a residential area, because you don't really notice it.
Now, the tenant that you have there now, that lease expires in October?
Yes. She's not only expiring the lease, is that she's in default already. She's behind in her lease agreement. So at this point, it's only a matter of time that I request her to leave. And at that point, I'm going to have the place completely empty.
Okay, so when she leaves, this new situation that you want will play into it too. That part will be,
Immediately after, actually, I'm going to start looking before she leaves.
okay.
The opportunities. But yes, I didn't want to have the place completely closed. It doesn't look good, and it's more work for me to maintain. So at least she's maintaining clean the space. That is what is important. It doesn't look abandoned.
And also too, if you get enough doctors or dentists, then your hardware store will close and you're going to have the whole thing will be.
Not for now, but my idea is to have the flexibility that if I decide to retire one day, I can rent the rest of the space, same thing for medical use.
Okay.
Where am I going to buy all my tools I don't use?
I would try to last the long I can.
I have a collection of them.
Mr. Chairman, also, the existing building has some outside storage space for the hardware store. The proposal is if it's converted to medical, that is not going to be medical. That's just going to be open space that they can use for outside lunch area.
The garden, what is today, who knows the store, considered the garden area that is out, practically the outside part of the store. Yes, we put it as a sitting area, maybe it can be waiting area, coffee room for the doctors.
And also, could you explain the signage? You're not proposing any signage. You talk about.
I'm not proposing any changes on the signage. First of all, because the monumental signage is already well placed and it has the space for the 3 commercial spaces. So they should be good to put the sign, the principal one over there. And then on the top of each commercial suite, it has a space for signage. And plus any doctor that will come anyway have to go towards zoning again. So if they need something special, they have to refer to you for the right applications.
When you refer to the storage sheds on the outside, you said they're going to be removed or moved?
So the fence is going to be moved and replaced on my property line, and the sheds are going to be removed.
Removed, okay. Right.
There's a number of containers and sheds that are on the adjacent county property that they're noted on the plan to be removed. The existing fence is shown to be relocated.
Yeah.
So have you been asked to remove that, or are you doing it on your own accord?
I have been asked because it's not totally my property
Understood.
line, and also because I complied with the rules of the board.
Mr. Fowler, you want to add anything?
Just to clarify on Mr. Cornell's point that there's 2 phases or 2 options, and the applicant would like both of those approved. The one option or phase being that the hardware store would remain. The 2 vacant spaces would be for a doctor's office, medical, 4 doctors total, requiring 37 spaces, and 3 spaces would be used for outdoor storage. And then the second part of it would be approved for all medical, in which case it'd be a maximum of 8 doctors, 40 parking spaces, and the 3 outdoor storage spaces or areas will be removed. So we're approving both things tonight, the option to retain the hardware store, an option to have and impart medical, or have all medical with a maximum of 8 doctors.
Mr. Cornell, do you have anything you want to add?
No, Mr. Chairman, but what that means is if for some reason she has tenants that require 9 doctors, she'll have to come back to the board. If those doctors want to put additional signage up, they'll have to come back to the board. If she wants to change the hours of operation and what you talked about, she'll have to come back to the board. So even though there's no specific tenants, you're giving her guidelines that she's going to have to follow. That'll be in the resolution. Anything beyond that will require her coming back to the board.
And also any signs will come back to the board.
She's going to use the existing freestanding and use the tenant signs above the 3 spaces. If it turns out she needs more than that, then she'll have to come back to the board.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Hearing no other questions from the board, I'm going to open it to the public in reference to this. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public portion.
I mean, you have planning testimony that you need to get on the record first.
I'll briefly do the planning proofs. So clearly, this is a D1 is identified in Mr. Fowler's letter. In my opinion, as a professional planner, got to switch the hat now from engineer, that it advances several of the goals of municipal land use law, at least to encourage municipal action to guide the appropriate use or development of all lands in the state in a manner which will promote the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare, I think, in my opinion, that the medical offices are providing for a potential need of the community, and also to provide sufficient space in appropriate locations for a variety of agricultural, residential, recreational, commercial, and industrial uses, and open space, both public and private. We're utilizing an existing, currently utilized commercial property. So I believe we advanced at least two purposes of the municipal liaison law. For the positive criteria, the medical offices are providing for a potential need of the community that's been identified through tenants that have approached the applicant. Also, you've heard about the difficulty that the applicant has with renting the current uses, and this will allow this existing commercial space to be economically viable. It's clearly an appropriate use of the property. The existing roadway access, circulation patterns, and site infrastructure support the use. And the application also advances several portions of the borough's master plan, specifically an objective of maintaining a viable commercial community entity and encouraging desirable business growth. So it'll kind of help prop up this property. As far as negative criteria, in my professional opinion as a planner, the neighborhood has become acclimated to this commercial use, and converting this to medical would provide no substantial negative impact. Special reasons for the property. Clearly, the site is particularly suited as it is currently a commercial and retail use, and provides, in my opinion, a transition from the retail uses at the intersection to the residential community on the other side. So therefore, it's my opinion as a professional planner that the use variance can be granted by the board because the benefits of providing the community with the medical offices, as well as all the previously stated reasons, outweigh any detriment of granting these exceptions. Furthermore, it's my opinion that there will be no substantial impairment to the neighborhood, public good, municipal master plan, or zone plan.
Okay. Mr. Fowler, do you have any comment on that?
That's very well done.
Okay.
Hit all the points.
Any other questions from the board? Mr. Pressler, you have anything you want to add? That's it? It's a pleasure to board.
Reopen it to the public. Yeah, new testimony, come on.
Okay. All right, I'm going to open it to the public again. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak in reference to this application? Hearing none, I close the public portion. It's a pleasure to board. He knows that.
Is he gonna go ahead?
Are you going ahead, Mr. Pressler, concerning this with 6 members?
Yes. I am.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the application be approved.
I have a motion and a second to approve this application. Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mr. Stotsky?
Yes.
Mr. Booth?
Yes.
Okay, the application's been approved. The memorialization will be on the 22nd of July, after which you can proceed.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's okay.
All right, our next application is 2615, which was a carryover, 30 Bamehurst Avenue.
Good to see you all again. Charles D. Whalen III for the applicant. This application of Giovanni Alba, a Saraville resident, for variances to construct a new single-family home on property at 30 Baymhurst Avenue. It's a continuation of the prior month's hearing. The board had some questions. Some revised plans were submitted. I have with me tonight Robert Larson, who's been previously qualified as an architect and planner. And I also have the applicant, Mr. Alba, who's available to answer any questions. So, Mr. Larson, why don't you outline for the board what we've changed in the plans?
You remain sworn from the last meeting.
Excellent, thank you. So I will begin with the plot plan that was, I believe, submitted as part of the revised plans that were prior to this hearing. Just try to be very succinct with what we have changed. So if you recall, when we were here last time, we were seeking the construction of a new single-family home in place of a small single-family cottage on an existing non-conforming lot in your R7 zone. Through discussions with the board, there was a particular concern about the side yard. And you asked us to look at widening the side yard to 5 feet, which we have. We also were able to then reduce the total building coverage as well as the total coverage on the site. By that corresponding, we made the house 2 feet thinner that was proposed. We were able to still keep what I think is a good viable house. It's 17 feet wide. We were able to modify the architecture a little bit to still, again, keep it being a 3-bedroom home with a 1-car garage. The particular numbers, and I believe it was actually the chairman who requested that we get down to 35%. So the maximum building coverage permitted is 20%, 15% exists. When we had been here last time, we were at 39.5%. We've been able to reduce that by 4.5% to 35%. So the variance is now 35% where 20 is permitted. And the maximum total impervious existing was 45, required is 45. When we were here last, we were over 50% at 53.5%. And we're back here again, having thin the house up a bit, asking for 49%. We continue to require side yard setbacks. 8 and 12 are required, a total of 20, where 5 and 3 are proposed for a total of 8. We hope that the board sees that we, took your advice, took your input. I do have the home, the proposed architecture for the home. If I may. So again, this is sheet A1.1, which was submitted as part of this application. And you can see that we continue to have what I think is an attractive single-family home, 2 feet thinner, still a 1-car garage, still approximately 1,900 total square feet, 3 bedrooms. We continue to seek these variances, but as adjusted per our last hearing.
Mr. Cornell?
Chairman, just one comment. I think in the last meeting, it was discussed about the driveway, whether it was going to be at grade or below grade. I think you indicated it was going to be at grade. The renderings show at grade, but your revised plans still show retaining walls and still show it below grade.
That is a mistake on the plot plan then, because it is not the intention.
And yeah, that was my understanding. So I think your plot plan's still not accurate. And also we talked about the grading at the last meeting. I know you did some revised grading. You're still below the 2% grading required by the town ordinance. You've got some areas that are less than 1%. So if the application is approved, there would have to be a revised grading plan to show that you get that 2% grading around the property.
And we'd be happy to submit that. And just to be clear, and if there was an error on the plot plan, the architecture is accurate, has been depicted. It's an on-grade driveway with there's an existing access for a curb cut. a one-car garage. We do comply with the front yard setback. We also, just for the board's information, we do realize that there was a neighbor here last time that had some concern over proximity of windows to their home. So while the home has a 5-foot setback now, which increases the distance, if you were to look at the plans, the first window on the second floor does not occur for 24 feet to the rear. Well, actually, I'm sorry, the second floor window is 34 feet from the front. The overlap of the two homes is about 24 feet. So the first second floor window occurs past their home, which I think was one of the concerns about looking directly across. The first floor window occurs 24 feet back, which again is at or beyond the existing overlap of the existing neighbor.
Chairman.
Yes.
On your, I guess more like a photograph on the top, it's like a photograph, then the line drawing at the bottom. The top one is on the left is showing a window and a door on the left-hand side, the bottom just showing a door. The bottom was the accurate one. Look at the photo.
Yeah, so at the entry, yeah, so I guess the architecture that's depicted was trying to show something more attractive than the simple door on the floor plan. We would seek to, I believe, have the image, which would be a front door with a nice little window to create more drama at the front. But if there were a particular desire of the board, we'd certainly.
I don't know if you can fit the door right.
You are correct. It actually should be a side light. So that looks like it's a 3-foot door with a 12-inch side light. So thank you for clarifying. This artistic representation should be fixed to show a door with a side light.
Anything else, Mr. Fowler? Mr. Cornell, anything?
Mr. Chairman, just to summarize the variances, there's 4 variances. 2, the lot size and the lot width did not change. The last application, they proposed a 3-foot side yard setback. They now have 5. Lot coverage previously was 39.5. They now have 35. And the total coverage was 53.5. They now have 49.
And the combined side yard is supposed to be this 20, and they have 8.
Correct.
Any members of the board have any questions?
Save the window. Is that the exact rendering? Is that what it's going to look like? Obviously,
So this is what it's going to look like dimension. So having been provided these plans and by my client's architect, this depiction of the siding, the color, the trim, the forms is obviously it must comply with the exact
Right, no, of
shape of the
course.
floor plan. So yes, this is what the home will look like.
Thank you.
Last time there was discussion about, I guess, setting back windows or something to that nature. I don't know if it had to do with fire or safety.
It did, and actually it was brought up I believe the code official. So you'll notice on the floor plans that along the 3-foot setback, there are 0 windows. The 5-foot setback is where building code begins to allow penetrations. So that's why we have on the first floor, we show 4 windows, and on the second floor, we show 3 windows. The master bedrooms windows face forward only, trying to be sensitive to the relationship to looking into the existing neighbor's house. So we are, to your question, the windows now can comply with property line proximity for penetrations by fire code.
I do have an issue with the side setbacks, 3-foot and 5-foot. We talked about this last month when you were here. 5 foot from the house that is right alongside of you. And our ordinance is 10 and 10. or a 20-foot complete. Is there anything you can do to expand that?
So I believe it's actually 8 and 12. So the relief we're seeking, it doesn't really matter because we're asking for 5 and 8, 8 and 12 equals 20, the same. We've tried to, obviously we have an existing very thin lot that exists in the R7 zone. To our left, we've all looked, there were pictures last time, we put the 3 foot on that side because that's an existing open space to the existing home sits way far away. In terms of increasing the 5 foot anymore, if you were to look at the floor plans, we're trying to get an effectively usable single family home, right? And at 17 feet wide, we would be hard pressed to be able to produce a single family home at much thinner. You can see that we have a 9-foot bedroom in the middle. There's sort of a critical piece of math about a stair, a hallway, and a room. We tried to increase it from the 3 foot as we discussed last time, but to make the home much thinner would be practically very difficult because of the existing size of the lot.
And our ordinance is 20% and your coverage is 35.
And again, because we have such a small lot, I believe when I testified last time, a 7,500 square foot lot with a 20% coverage is, can be a nice large home. We're proposing a 3-bedroom, 1,900 square foot home. Much of our request, obviously, the reason we're here asking for variance is because the existing nonconformity of the lot. It's a very small lot. It's very thin. It's only 3,100 square feet. So I understand the 20 to 35 seems to be a lot, but in our case, we're really just trying to bring to bear a modern single family home, not at a huge size, at a nice size, 3-bedroom. And the result of producing that home on this lot is the 35%. And even the side yard asks. We do admit that's why we're here seeking the variances. The lot is particularly difficult in terms of its size.
I just want to add that I've looked at your homes. It's nice. And it fits into that neighborhood. But the problem is that the house is too big for that lot. The way it's set up now. And that's the issue that I have with this. Any questions from the board concerning this application? Going to open it to the public. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak in reference to this application? Hearing none, I close the public portion.
Mr. Chairman, before there's a vote, I've been doing this for about 45 years all over the state. And we have a 25-foot wide lot. And somehow that got created. We know, before there was land use, subdivision and zoning, that a builder could basically record a map with a grid on it, and that created the building lots. And now we have much more drilling down into these situations. You got a 25-foot lot with a house that's set way back. And what the applicant's proposing is to create a streetscape, a very attractive new house that's going to improve the neighborhood. We can't do anything about the 25 feet. And there's something in the law about not zoning a property in utility. I mean, if the board denies the application, the applicant's not stuck with a lot they can't build on. There's a house right there, but this is much nicer. It's much nicer. So, just ask the board to consider that the borough, essentially created the 25-foot lot or blessed the 25-foot lot, until the zoning changed. And now, need a much bigger lot to build a house. But I think it is a nice addition. I don't live here, but I think it's a nice addition to the borough. And that's all I have to say.
Jay, was there ever a house there?
There's currently a house there.
I know that's not a house. Was it ever built on, or was it always an empty lot?
No. There's an existing house that's on the
It's
property.
little though, right?
That's the small house is all that's been there. Yes. Nothing else. Correct.
The house is all the way in the back.
Yeah, no, I've
And
been
it,
there.
and it really doesn't provide any kind of a rear yard. If family with kids, we have no place to play in the back. So this also addresses that.
Was the property ever subdivided? We know.
Mr. Chairman, not to my knowledge.
Have you ever thought of the possibility of the house that's there now? That you make a second story to it?
Try, but it does not look attractive at all. I have some drawings and it still does not allow me to move. Because I spoke to the zoning officer, to Mr. Andrew, and he said, I couldn't go up, not to the side. So it's still really narrow. I believe right now it's like 14 feet width. That's the width of the house currently.
Well, the issue that I have, it's a nice house, there's no doubt, and it fits the neighborhood. Where I have my problem is we have an ordinance that's 20% and yours is 35, and we have a 5-foot side setback and a 3-foot setback on the sides. That is a big problem. It's a safety problem, no doubt. And you're saying that your testimony is that you can't do anything about that. It has to stay that way.
Mr. Chairman, there is no evidence that's on the record of any kind. We never got a report talking about a safety issue. I mean, I understand everyone needs to use their common sense, in looking at things or whatever, but there is no evidence in the record that it's a safety problem. I mean, we came before the board last month and the board, indicated that looking for the side yard setback to be expanded, which was done. I mean, we spoke about 5 feet last month. And the applicant addressed all these things, and the applicant can't address everything perfectly because it is a small lot, but that's why we're before the board for variances. So, I mean, I'm not aware of any kind of a safety hazard at all on the property.
I'm not saying that there's a safety hazard right now, but there could be. You could have a fire. You could have things that could develop.
But there's no evidence that a fire truck would not be able to properly access the new house to put a fire out.
Well, 5 foot from the house that's there, that exists there now.
Well, I think
That's close.
I think a fire truck would have a problem fighting a fire, the house that's in the back also. So, I mean, there's like no perfect solution, but like the applicant has proceeded in good faith, was here last month, heard the concerns of the board and came back with plans. And I don't think you can make a skinnier house. I mean, I'd love to be able to do that, but it would actually a skinnier house would look kind of ridiculous. It wouldn't be good for the neighborhood. And ultimately, that's what we're trying to do.
I'm not saying that the applicant came in bad faith.
No.
He came in good faith. I mean, the
Absolutely.
house is nice.
Yeah.
The issue is not the applicant. The issue is the size of the lot and the house that has to go there.
Right.
That's our issue.
Right. And at one time, 25 foot wide lot was sufficient under whatever laws applied in the borough. And then the zoning changed and all of a sudden it became a deficient lot. And the applicant is trying to do the best that he can with the lot that is created. Does not want to be in a position where he can't do anything with the lot. I guess he could be left that way to do nothing except leave that house there. But I mean, honestly, this is a pretty house. And I think it would be much better for the borough to permit him to do this. And everyone has their concerns, and that's why we're here. And we're kind of talking it out.
Are we allowed, let me ask this. At what point, or is there a point where the fire inspector says this can't be built during the plan process? Is he ever consulted when building a house? Because this is a
fire code when they put in their permit applications.
Right.
So
has to
he
sign
looks
off
at
on it,
he looks at the width of the house, not just the.
They look for the entire house for everything complying with fire code.
100%.
Okay.
And I think that's a fair way to approach it, is let he's kind of the expert He's the one you're relying on. He's hired to do that. Let him say whether it's a problem or not. I mean, typically these plans typically get reviewed by a fire official. I didn't see any comment by your fire official that said they thought it was dangerous or a problem or whatever, but I guess there's that additional checkpoint when the construction application submitted that he gets to have his say on it.
Any comment that you want to make, Mr. Cornell?
Mr. Ernest, I think to that issue, the fire official typically wouldn't review an application for a bulk variance when it's before the board. He would perform his review when plans are actually submitted to the building department for the building permits.
This, regardless, the fire marshal may nix it, could nix it if he chooses to. I don't know how much room is needed. To your point, it's tight, I'm sure. You're wearing a tank behind, I mean, it's tight, but this isn't a done deal till.
Right. If this doesn't comply with the fire code for any reason that the fire marshal determines, then they're back here.
Wouldn't we want that before you present to us? Wouldn't you want to, I mean, that's a big selling point for you, right?
If I may, so acting as, speaking as an architect, the proximity of this home to his property lines is what caused our conversation about the windows. It's very likely when I go to submit to the fire official, I must meet fire code. It's very likely that this home is going to have exterior fire rating, which happens when you get close to property lines. Again, being from Sayreville, there are a number of homes that exist at 3 foot or less proximal to another home in various neighborhoods. The home that we're bringing has to comply with current fire code, not just by the fire code official, but me as an architect, I have to sign this off that I have proper fire rating, fire type, and construction for this home. So in my opinion, this home is going to be built to a greater standard than most other homes that exist, than all other homes that exist that were built previously. Fire codes have become much more stringent these days. In terms of safe access, once again, being from here, the 5 foot side yard has increased the ability for any safety personnel to be able to traverse to the rear yard. I believe it's, that is ample. In terms of the home, the front door, the access for safety personnel to get in and out is absolutely safe. It's very typical, very standard, very normal for this neighborhood. So if safety is a concern, I'm confident that this home is going to be to a greater standard than many others that exist in neighborhoods of similar fabric. In terms of its proximity to the property line on the right, the 5 feet, we can't just have endless windows. We have limited windows because of compliance with fire code. The adjacent home exists approximately another 3 feet to the side. I believe we're providing safe access. The reason we don't go to fire officials for a single family home, we often go to them for multifamily developments, for other accesses, for more serious access. He'll have to sign off on, as will all your local your subcode officials, on our construction drawings when these are submitted. The proximity to the property line will cause him to review it for that compliance, but it'll have to comply with, again, proximity to fire line rating and gypsum thickness and all those things. We have to.
Thank you.
I want to ask the property owner a question. How long have you owned the property?
Since 2024.
2024?
24? She's my wife, by the way. 24, yes, it's 2 years.
You bought it 2 years ago.
I'm sorry, no, 22. I work with numbers. I got all my numbers messed up.
You're sure? 2022?
22, yes, 22, because I know I didn't touch it for a year.
When you bought it in 22, the house that was there now was there then?
Yes.
And did you rent that house out?
I tried renting it twice, and then the tenant didn't last very long.
So when you got the house, there was nobody living in that house that's there now?
Correct. Yeah, it was vacant.
It was empty?
Correct.
And it was your decision after buying that lot in 22, seeing the way it was, that you wanted to take that house down that was there and build this one, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So you knew what the size of the lot was when you wanted to put this here.
I didn't know that wasn't on the size lot. I thought it was a number size lot.
Did
Like,
you investigate the zoning requirements when you purchased the property?
no, I did not know that wasn't on the size lot.
Well, that's an issue.
Address the board.
Come up.
Okay.
This is Mrs.
Just my
Alba.
wife.
I'm his wife.
All right.
Please raise your right hand. You swear to truth, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing
I
but
do.
the truth, so help you God. And could we get your full name for the
It's
record?
Rosanna Reyes. So we've had a real big issue trying to rent this house out. Since I believe last year, it's been a year since we've been looking for tenants. Everybody that sees the house, oh, it's in really nice condition, it's really cute, but it's too small. We even offered the house to my parents. My parents are 82 and 80. And when my mom went to see it for the first time, she was like, is that a garage? I was like, no, it's a house. Everybody finds the house to be too small for them to live in. So that's why we're trying to build a bigger house. It's been really tough. And we've just been paying property taxes, everything on it, and just, it's been tough.
I understand everything that you're talking about. But when you bought the house in 22, you should have gotten the ordinances what they were. This house is nice. It's gorgeous, no doubt. But the issue is the coverage. The coverage is 35% and you have 20. And everything else. And that's my concern.
Ms. Reyes, when you bought the property, were you represented by an attorney?
No.
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 Oh, you bought it on your own without an attorney? Okay.
Yes. Just-
So you really didn't have any guidance as far as what
Not at
you
all.
could do with the property?
Not at all.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board?
Technically have to reopen it.
I'm gonna open this to the public again. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak in reference to this application? Hearing none, I close the public portion. What's the pleasure of the board concerning this application? I'm voting no on this application.
We need a motion one way or another.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second.
So if you vote yes on this motion, it will be to deny, and if you vote no on this motion, it will be to grant the application.
The motion is to deny the application.
Yes.
That's the chairman's motion.
How many votes, just before we vote, how many votes are required either way?
You need 4 votes.
To deny, you need 4 votes to deny?
Both ways.
Okay.
Roll call.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Yes.
Mr. Esposito,
Yes.
Mr. Emma,
Yes.
Mrs. Gottstein,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Okay, I have votes to deny the application.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a 5-minute break.
We must have worked together.
I'm good, Ron. How you doing? I know.
I have this.
Sir?
I see. Been trying to. Yeah, I still have. In fact, the reason I'm doing it is. Looking at. Run for it. I've been borrowing their insurance. Yeah, that's the one which is. Actually, that's what we have. And then you get us. Jay. Although I have less. You're in the second story of this house over here. That's some. Yeah.
Yeah. The V is definitely going, it's relatively tangent, there's a V.
Oh, she says hi. Oh. Oh, good for her. No.
Okay, I'm going to call the zoning board of adjustment meeting back in order after the 5-minute recess. Roll call.
Mr.
Here.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Here.
Mr. Esposito.
Here.
Mr. Emma.
Here.
Mrs. Gottstein.
Here.
Mr. Cooper.
Here.
Our next application is 25-21 Route 35 Melrose.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Lawrence Sachs on behalf of the applicant, FAJP LLC. The property is located at block 301.01. It's lots 22 and 23. The property is in your B3 zone. And what we're seeking this evening, members of the board, is we're seeking preliminary and final major site plan approval and conditional use variance approval to replace an existing static billboard that is right up against Route 9 and 35. In fact, at the present time, that billboard is within the right-of-way of Routes 9 and 35. And just for some historical perspective, the billboard was probably erected in the 1950s. When Route 9 and 35 was not as wide as it is. And I think over time, there's been takings of property, probably dedications by that property owner. But as we stand here today, that billboard, which by the way still has advertising on it, is within the right of way. So what we're proposing tonight is to demolish that billboard, to move it back out of the right of way, to put it back onto our property, and to construct a new two-sided digital billboard at that location. I do have three witnesses here this evening. I have my engineer, Mr. Mark Lieber from East Point Engineering, who will basically describe the site plan for you. I have Mr. Carl Penke, who is a traffic engineer. He will talk about the process with regard to the billboard permitting process. And any concerns regarding visibility and issues with respect to that. And finally, of course, I have a professional planner here this evening, Ms. Colleen McGurk, who will address the conditional use variance that we're seeking. So, Mr. Chairman, without further ado, if I can have Mr. Lieber sworn in, and he'll guide you through the site plan and certainly answer any questions you might have.
I want to note, same rules apply, 6 members, D variance, your option when we get to the vote.
That's fine, Mr. Fisher.
Okay, proceed.
Good evening.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Mr. Lieber, if you can give the board the benefit of your professional qualifications and background.
Hi, it's Mark with a C. Last name is Lieber, L-E-B-E-R. Graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree from Drexel University in Civil Engineering. A graduate degree, MBA from Rutgers Grad School, and was licensed in 2003 as an engineer. I've appeared before this board numerous times and
Okay, you can stop there.
Okay.
We'll
thank you.
we accept your credentials.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Lieber, if you can give the board the benefit of your testimony as to what's being proposed, the existing site conditions, and eventually we'll go through Mr. Cornell's report because I know he had some questions.
Alrighty, so we had submitted plans that were last revised on January 28th of this year. I'm sorry, January 8th of this year. It's consisting of 3 sheets. It's block 301.01. It's lots 22 and 23. This property is very unusually shaped. It's mostly all frontage on the highway and Kearney Avenue. It's like a triangle. And when you add the 2 lots together, you get about 0.18 acres. Other than the fact that there is that existing billboard right along the highway, the rest of the property is vacant. On lot 23, there's a paved parking lot that almost gives the appearance that it's part of that former restaurant, although it's a separate lot that's attached to this one. Along the highway, we have about 206 feet of frontage, and we're in the B3 zone district. Now, the proposal here, as you heard a moment ago, is to remove the existing freestanding billboard and to construct a new modern pylon billboard. We had dimensioned on our plan that the pylon would be set back 10 feet from the right of way along the highway. And this board, which measures 10.5 feet high by 36 feet wide, which would be 2-sided, would be placed such that the edge of the board is 15.5 feet from our adjacent neighbor at lot 5 and 30.1 feet from Kearney Avenue. If you're looking for dimensions vertically, the top of the structure is at 45 feet. Below the 10.5 foot high panel, there's a 3 foot apron below that. So if you were to measure from the bottom of the apron to the ground, it'd be 31.5 feet. We had sent in some photographs of the property. I think there were 4 photographs. Had them with me as well. First one was a southbound view along the highway, just to show you the Peniac Roofing Company's advertisement. You'll see in the distance some houses on Kearney Avenue. There's another photo after that showing the back of that billboard because it's taken from Kearney Avenue looking north on the highway. The last 2 photos we had done were tried to do some renderings as to what this would look like from a passerby on the highway with a pylon mounted cantilever billboard. We do have a V shape, so it'd be visible from both north and southbound traffic. Because the bottom of that screen is over 30 feet from grade, it would easily clear the second floor windows of that house that's located across the street. It also doesn't provide any sight distance obstructions or block any traffic. The billboard that's out there today is in a very awkward position. It is partly in the right of way. It does also obscure cars exiting Kearney. The billboard is digital, so there's no uplighting. The screen, as far as illumination, is most similar to if you held an iPad up in the air and looked at how an iPad creates an image. It's very similar to that technology. And it could also be either dimmed or turned off at any particular hour. Now, this type of a use is a conditionally permitted use in the B3 zone. There are a couple of conditions which we're going to go through in detail tonight that we do not comply with. Some of them have to do with spacing and the setbacks for the billboard, as well as buffering. We have a detailed letter from your planner, Mr. Fowler, which goes through each and every one of these items. But I'm handling engineering, so I did want to go straight to the borough engineer's letter, Mr. Cornell, which is the June 24th letter, which originally deemed the application complete. He does indicate what's proposed, and there are a couple of technical comments, namely on page 2 about status of a DOT permit, which we have that as well tonight to discuss.
Excuse me.
Oh, yes.
Chairman, just
Yeah.
since everything's so tied up here,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard for the board members to see what what you're talking about. Did you have a board with plan posted on it that members could see?
I have the plan that was submitted with the board
Nothing that
packets.
you have that you can speak to and
I typically wouldn't bring something like this on a board. All I'm referencing is sheet 3 in my plan set, which shows the placement of that billboard on the property. I can give it to Mr. Sachs. Easel? He's my easel. Thank you. Again, this is the property here. There's lot 23, which is the tip of the triangle at the top. The circle, the pylon is 10 feet from the right-of-way line of the highway. The wing, I call it, of the southbound side, southbound facing side is 15.5 feet from lot 5, and the wing toward Kearney is 30.1 feet. The rest of the lot is vacant. We do have one parking spot just for maintenance. And then we provided a detail with a couple of shrubs on the pylon base, but the rest of the lot would be vacant. The existing billboard would come down.
Borrow that for a second. You didn't know easels could talk. Can you talk a little bit, Mr. Lieber, about the landscaping that's being proposed?
It's just landscaping along the base. There was a question if we could provide a evergreen screen buffer to lot 5, which we could absolutely provide. And when I say lot 5, I'm referring to the lot on the left side of the plan to our west. So there's about 100 feet of common lot line. We share with them, we could provide evergreen more of a solid buffer all the way down.
All right, and in terms of the deactivation of this billboard, you're aware that the applicant would agree to turn this off by 10 p.m.?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so therefore, just so the board is aware, at 10 o'clock, this billboard will not be illuminated at all. We'll turn it off.
That's correct.
Okay.
I mean, ancillary items that you typically hear about, stormwater management does not apply. There's no tree removal. We're not working in any environmentally sensitive areas. We are happy to provide a deed of consolidation if that was required for the two lots. I mean, the essence of the application is to replace that outdated billboard.
Okay, I don't have anything further, Mr. Lieber. I know a lot of the testimony is going to be with, I know you were prepared to at least discuss some of the conditional use requirements, but I think I'm going to defer till our planner testifies as to that.
Yeah.
Question for you. Sure. We've heard maybe 10 billboard cases here. Why 10? I've never heard anyone shutting the lights off at night. Why are you doing that?
That's a voluntary offer that we're making. We just want to obviously make sure our neighbors, because there are some neighbors on Kearney and Melrose, are not going to be aggravated by any excessive light. I mean, granted, there's a lot of light already on Route 9 and 35, but we feel the need that it's not necessary to keep it illuminated after 10 p.m. And by the way, I don't think Sayreville's ordinance provides for that, but I will tell you in East Brunswick, that's billboards on Route 18, even the billboards on the Turnpike are shut down at 10:30 or 11 o'clock.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
You're shutting off both sides at 10 o'clock?
Yes. I mean, we could go to 10:30, but and I leave that up to the board's discretion, but the offer is there. It doesn't need to be illuminated all night.
Who owns the present sign?
My client owns the property. He owns the sign. So I think I had mentioned initially, this billboard was probably constructed in the 1950s. It was on the registration of billboards in the state of New Jersey. And obviously now that we're changing it, we had to obtain a new billboard roadside permit, which, by the way, my traffic engineer will testify to that, and I'll hand you out a copy of that permit. So we do have approval, conditional approval from the state of New Jersey to replace that billboard.
In reference to that billboard, you're gonna stop it at 10 o'clock at night. What time does it go on in the morning?
Good question. Probably goes on at dawn. There's no reason to put it on at 4 a.m., but it would probably be around dawn. I mean, obviously the technology today is a lot different than even the technology of other billboard applications. I mean, I remember sitting in Mr. Fisher's seat and, the billboard companies would have to come in with the type of lighting, not necessary any longer, because nowadays you almost cannot see it unless you're dead on, which is really the way the new technology is. So.
And the billboard is this, correct?
That's right.
That's a rendering of what it would appear. Yeah.
That view's taken from across Kearney.
And the billboard that you're talking about when you started is this one here, correct? The
That's
small
right.
one that says roofing company?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the billboard, Mr. Green, that right now is within the right of way. Yeah. And that's not any fault of any prior property owners, but it probably just happened whenever Route 9 was widened. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was widened over there, probably in the 60s, late 60s. There were little takings of property. That billboard just got closer to the highway and then ultimately within the right of way. So
it's this little billboard is being replaced by this one.
yes.
Idea of size and perspective. The digital billboard that's on the northbound side, that you can use the taller dealerships. How tall is that? Do you remember? This one's 25 feet, right?
Yeah.
I don't recall, I've got some information on that. But let me see if there's something in the packet of information I have. It says 50 feet. This was a rendering that was submitted with that application. It says 50-foot overall height. Correct.
That's the max height permitted.
So the one on the northbound side is is 50 feet and this one's 45. So we have 5-foot difference.
Correct.
And they're both two-sided.
So this is small compared to the one that's on the other side.
Smaller.
Small. A lot smaller.
And by the way, the facing is within the ordinance requirements, so.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, I don't think, Mr. Green, I don't think I have anything further of Mr. Lieber. I do have Mr. Carl Penke, who is my traffic engineer. And before he testifies, let me hand out the roadside permit. I think you may have it. I'm not sure, but if not, I'll provide it for you again.
I just get you sworn in. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do. And for the record, my name is Carl with a K, Penke, P as in Peter, EHNKE. By way of qualification, I am a registered professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. My license is in good standing. I've been practicing for over 40 years. Area of expertise is traffic engineering, and I've been before this board in the past.
Accept your credentials.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Penke, I'm passing out obviously the roadside permit, but if you could give the board the benefit of your expertise and analysis as to, what's that?
I want to mark this as A1.
We'll mark it as A1. I think it may have been submitted.
Oh.
One of the problems we had is I think the initial submission was misplaced, and then you have it. Okay. All right, we'll pass it out again. And we'll mark it as A1. But anyway, I'm sorry, Mr. Penke.
That's fine. So certainly, as was just described, the application is for a multiple messaging sign to replace the existing sign, basically a billboard, digital billboard. The copy does change electronically. It is located on Route 35 and 9, which is a state highway. Accordingly, the billboard is governed by the state highway regulations under Title 39, Chapter 41C, which is the Roadside Control and Outdoor Advertising Act. With regard to that, there's a couple of things that are required. The applicant needs to be licensed. This applicant is licensed to operate the billboard, and the applicant does need to obtain a permit from the Department of Transportation. And as indicated, the applicant has obtained approval of a permit for the application. We call it a conditional permit because the department issues the final permit once this board acts. So the condition is basically local approval, local jurisdiction input to the sign. Once that happens, the permit will become effective and they'll have the right to construct it. From a traffic engineering standpoint, there's a couple of key provisions that are important to these billboards. For them to operate, they're governed by statewide regulations. Those regulations are really mimicked nationally. Basically, a billboard can have no flashing or moving parts, moving lights. This billboard will not have any flashing or moving lights to distract the motorist. It cannot be placed in such a way that it would interfere with the motorist's clear line and unobstructed view of the highway. The sign is 10 feet back from the property line. It's actually probably about 25 feet to 30 feet back from the curb line, and in no way will it obstruct the view of a motorist. In fact, as you have heard, the removal of the existing billboard will help sight lines for motorists that are approaching Route 9 and 35 from Kearney Avenue and Oak Street. It cannot resemble a traffic device like a stop sign or a traffic signal, and in no way does a billboard do that. And it cannot endanger the health, safety, and welfare of the public in its immediate environment. The construction of the sign certainly will not do that. Basically, it is a digital sign. There are regulations on to how those digital signs operate. They are not allowed to turn any faster than a minimum of 8 seconds. And when they do turn, they have to turn within a second so that there is no motorist distraction along the highway. Digital billboards, as was just indicated, have advanced quite a bit. They do adjust to the ambient light in the area. During the day, the nixels go brighter, the nits go brighter, and then at night, they actually come down. In general, the technology results in the sign not really exceeding the immediate area by 3.3 foot candles. So it really adjusts, just like your laptops do and so forth, to the ambient light. So from that standpoint, the sign really, digital signs are known to be safe. Certainly, this is not unique to the corridor. We have one right up the road, 1,000 feet. It's very similar. We're a little bit smaller than that sign, and it is permitted by the Department of Transportation. I think the application improves the property, improves the billboard. Certainly, removing that old billboard is beneficial, and there are no other traffic concerns or safety concerns associated with this application.
All right, so Mr. Penke, in your professional opinion, does this billboard provide opportunity for any distraction of the motoring public with respect to viewing of this billboard?
It does not.
Okay. And Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I know you have conditioned this in the past. If the municipality needs to post a public service announcement for an emergency on any billboard, we certainly would cooperate with the municipality as well. I know that's been a condition that's been imposed on other billboard applications. I don't have any further questions of Mr. Penke. He's certainly available for any questioning.
Any questions from the board?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, my last witness would be our professional planner, Colleen McGurk.
Good evening. I do have.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Ms. McGurk, if you could give the board the benefit of your professional expertise and qualifications.
Thank you. Colleen McGurk, Colleen, MCGURK, from Swick, Stahl, and McGurk Planning Associates. I received my master's in urban planning from Boston University. I started my firm in 2019. I have testified in front of dozens of municipalities throughout New Jersey, including Addison, Piscataway, East Brunswick, and Old Bridge. I'm a member of AICP, and my license is current.
We accept your credentials. Proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I have reviewed the application, the ordinance, the 2013 master plan, the site plan, and visited the site. The property in question, Block 301.01, lots 22 and 23, contains 7,935 square feet and is located at the intersection of Route 35 and 39 and Melrose Avenue. The property currently contains a static billboard, which will be removed, and tonight we are asking the board to approve a two-sided digitized billboard. The purpose of the billboard is a dual purpose, to provide advertising for businesses and for the public at large. The property is located within the B3 Highway Business Zoning District, which conditionally permits billboards. However, we do not meet all of the conditions, therefore a D3 variance is required. We also require 2 bulk variances for existing lot area and width, and 1 for lack of buffer. The surrounding uses consists of Route 9 and 35, a 6-lane highway to the east, single-family dwellings to the south and west, a defunct bar to the north with an apartment above, which I believe is inhabited, and also nearby is a bar and several other billboards. Our proposed development would fit in with the character of the area since there are billboards located in the area, 2 to the north and 1 to the south. The 1 to the south is digitized. The other 2 are fixed printed image billboards. The proposed billboard would be 30.1 feet from the property line on Kearney Ave, 15.5 feet from adjacent lot 21, and 39 feet from the adjacent lot 30, which contains the vacant bar and the residence, and 10 feet from the property line along Route 9. The relief that is required for a D3 conditional use variance must satisfy the positive and negative criteria, but by a much lower standard than a D1 use variance. We do not need to show that the site is particularly suited, just that the site remains appropriate despite the deviation from the conditions, and that conditions can be imposed in its approval to ensure that the deviation from the conditional use requirements does not cause substantial detriment to the intent and purpose of the master plan and zone plan, and that the conditional use variance will not cause damage to the character of the neighborhood as to constitute a substantial detriment to the public good with regard to the deviation from the conditions that are not being met. There are a total of 13 conditions. We advertised for additional conditions, but when I did my measurements, I did feel that we met the conditions, so I think that we meet 9 of the conditions, but I will provide the justifications just to be on the safe side. So the following are the conditions that we do not meet. Condition number 1, minimum lot frontage of 200 feet along Route 9, whereas the existing lot, according to my measurements though, is 205.91 feet. While the frontage may be lacking, this is not a large billboard. It is 36 feet by 10.5 for a total of 378 square feet, which is much less than the permitted 675 square feet, and is an improvement from the existing non-conforming billboard location, since the existing billboard is located 10.5 feet into the right-of-way. Condition number 2, no billboard sign shall be closer than 1,000 feet to another billboard sign located on the same or opposite side of Route 9, whereas we are proposing, and if you look at the exhibit, the first page, I have a near map with some measurements. So I have 368 feet from our proposed billboard to the billboard located on block 300.02, lot 1, directly to the north. And then 485 feet to the billboard located in block 300.01, lot 1, which is also to the north, but on the opposite side of Route 9. And then almost 1,000 feet. I have the billboard further south on the opposite side of Route 9. I got approximately 926 feet from our billboard, and that billboard is located in block 292.03, lot 3. We are replacing an existing billboard, which will be further from the billboards to the north, and so an improvement upon existing conditions. The other photos,
Let's mark this in as Exhibit A2.
A2.
Thank you.
Thank you. The other photos, might as well just go through those now. That shows the billboard I was just speaking of. It shows the 2 billboards located to the north of this property. The next photo is a distant shot of our existing billboard and the vacant bar with the residence above. And then the next page is a close-up of the existing billboard. And then the next photo is of the vacant lot area, lot 22. So then the next condition that we don't meet is condition number 3. No advertising sign shall be located within 300 feet of any intersection, interchange, or right-of-way of an underpass, overpass, or bridge. So we advertise for this, but when I do the measurement, I got 315 feet from Andrewski Drive. Andrewski Drive. But I had to do an approximation because I had a hard time. I didn't have anything that had the billboard exact location on the property. But my measurements show over 300 feet. But the proposed sign will not impair driving visibility and has been acknowledged by DOT. Since we do have the conditional permit, we receive the full permit if we do receive approval tonight from the board.
Excuse me, I want to stop you right there. The first 3 that you mentioned here, you need variances on 1, 2, and 3?
Those are the conditions that we don't meet, but when I do my measurements, I did see that we met some of those.
But you're going on this copy here with the red, correct?
Yes, in memorandum from the board professionals.
Yes.
So I'm stating what my measurements were, but I'm also giving the justifications for those conditions and not meeting them.
So you're asking for a bulk variance, a D3 on 1, 2, and 3, correct? So far?
So far, yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, those, I think 1, 2, and 3 were what the applicant had listed as
We did.
not being satisfied, so.
Yes, but when like I said, I did measurements in near maps, and I do feel, well, our survey shows that we have over 200 feet of lot frontage. So I think we do meet that one.
And I guess the question there was, are you including both lots or not? I think that was in my report.
22 and 23, yes.
It's not clear when you look at the one site plan, it only has lot 22 and isn't showing.
Okay.
23, so I wasn't sure the engineer was only counting the one lot when he was doing his frontage.
Okay, thank you. That could be the confusion. Yes, if you include lot 23, we have a lot frontage of 205.91, so then we would meet that condition.
Okay, thank you.
And then condition number 6, no billboard sign shall be erected within 300 feet of the nearest property line of a residentially zoned property. And we are definitely within that because there's a contiguous residential lot 21 right next to our property. And also single-family dwellings on Kearney Avenue. But the sign will be angled towards the driving public and can utilize light mitigating technology to reduce or eliminate any visual impacts from the illumination of the sign. The sign itself will have less impact than a permitted commercial use, such as traffic and noise. And as far as aesthetics, the new sign will be an improvement upon the existing sign, which is in poor condition. And again, we stated we're willing to turn the sign off at 10 p.m. And then condition number 9, the minimum setback line of the billboard from any property line or right-of-way shall be 30 feet, whereas we are proposing 10 feet from Route 9 and 15.5 from the western property line adjacent to Lot 21. The existing billboard extends 10.5 feet into the right-of-way. Therefore, this application will eliminate this nonconformity, which is also a safety concern. And while we do not meet the setback from Lot 21, we are proposing 15.5 feet, and the portion of the sign is the back of the sign, where the illumination will not be visible, and only a very narrow portion of the sign would be visible, so much less of an impact. The proposed setback is a substantial improvement from the existing setback from Route 9, and the 15.5 feet will have little detriment to the adjacent lot, since the sign will be minimally visible, and this use is a much less intense use than other permitted uses. Also, the lots lack width, which is an existing hardship. And then the last condition is condition number 10. The minimum setback line of the billboard sign from any structure shall be 30 feet, whereas the proposed sign is approximately 22.1 feet from the dwelling on Lot 21. Again, this use is much less intense than other permitted commercial uses, and the sign would be turned off, so the overall impacts are minimized despite not meeting the 30-foot distance. There are also 2 existing nonconformities that require variances. The lot area requirement is 20,000 square feet, whereas we have 7,935, and the lot width requirement of 100 feet, whereas we have 67. These are existing conditions, and the benefits of this use outweigh the potential detriments. One final required variance is for the 50-foot buffer along adjacent lot 21. The buffer is required to separate commercial uses from residential uses, but due to the existing lot width of 67 feet, this would make any development impossible. The proposed billboard would have much less of an impact than any other permitted commercial use, and we are proposing a row of evergreens along the entire property line as a buffer. This proposal is consistent with the 2013 master plan for economic objectives. Quote, to expand opportunities for non-residential development in both the office and retail sectors, to shift the property tax burden away from the residential sector, resulting in a positive fiscal impact on the borough, end quote. This is a good rateable with no burden on services, including water and sewer. This is a severely undersized lot for the B3 zone, so the uses that would be suitable here are few. It's all about balance in the community in a commerce-oriented zone. This is a commerce-oriented land use along a transportation artery. The use is less impactful than other uses permitted in this zone. With regard to special reasons, the project meets several goals of the MLUL, including Goal A, to encourage municipal action to guide the appropriate use or development of all lands in the state, and in a manner which will promote the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare. This is an appropriate use since it is a permitted use in this zone and accrues minimal negative impacts and will have positive economic impacts. Goal G, to provide sufficient space in appropriate locations for a variety of agriculture, residential, recreational, commercial, and industrial uses in open space. This is an undersized lot, which has already been utilized for a billboard, and no traffic, noise, or runoff will be generated. Purpose M, the efficient use of land. The lot contains an existing older billboard in poor condition, which will be replaced, and this is an ideal location from a visibility standpoint in terms of targeting the driving public on the highway. The use is a message board and is a form of free speech. This use promotes economic development, which benefits the entire public. Billboards are a tool of business, and this is a heavily trafficked commercial corridor. The B3 zone is a zone that allows for light and traffic in order to encourage economic development. PSAs are also a beneficial public service and real-time emergency alerts. Therefore, this application promotes the general welfare. Newer technology is being utilized, which will minimize the impact to the residents in the nearby single-family dwellings from the light generated by the billboard, and my client has agreed to turn the billboard off at 10 p.m. It is my professional opinion that these variances can be granted, and the deviation of the ordinance conditions does not substantially detriment to the public good, and the variation from the conditions can be reconciled with and will not substantially impair the intent and purpose of the zone plan and the zoning ordinance.
All right, Ms. McGurk, just a couple follow-up questions. So the B3 zone does permit a variety of commercial uses which
Yes.
could go onto this site, which certainly would result in traffic, noise, air pollution. The billboard, on the other hand, would you consider that to be a passive use?
It would be a very passive use, and the other permitted uses, I mean, they might be hard to fit, but nightclub, gas station, church, childcare, et cetera.
Okay. And in terms of the agreement to turn the illumination off at 10 p.m. And to obviously not activate it until dawn or whenever sunrise occurs, that is a benefit to the surrounding residential community. Is that correct?
I would say that would mitigate almost all of the negative impacts, especially with the newer technology and the way the lighting works. They would have very minimal impact.
All right. And you could potentially have another commercial use which could have lights on 24/7.
Correct.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I don't have any further questions of Ms. McGurk. I think she's covered the conditional use requirements and certainly available for any questioning.
Board have any questions? I have a question, Mr. Fowler. She testified to the fourth page that you wrote. According to my testimony here, or from her, how many D variances do we have?
Well, the 1D variance, but they don't, there are several conditions that they do not satisfy. Then, so it's a D3 variance, so it's one variance, but there's multiple conditions that aren't being satisfied. So if number one, if both lots are included and they had advertised for not meeting this condition, but they satisfy condition number one, where they have more than 200 foot of frontage. They don't meet condition number two, number three, and then I was going to ask Ms. McGurk on number four. Only single-sided double-faced signs with a single display per face shall be permitted. Flashing, moving, or projected signs are prohibited. I just thought if the sign is message changed every 8 seconds and it changes from one to another, that there was movement. So I felt that would be one of the conditions that you weren't satisfied. I think at the time, I wasn't sure how much movement was going to be part of that sign.
Yeah.
But again, I would consider it to be movement, in my opinion, but.
Yeah, I think, and listen, we would agree. I think the intent of that aspect of the ordinance really is you don't want to have flashing, you don't want to have scrolling, you don't want to have something popping out at you. But I think you can't prevent the display from changing every 8 seconds. I'm not sure that really constitutes a movement.
Yeah,
The 8 seconds is the standard. The way I read movement, it seemed to be referring more to mobile, revolving, or electronically or mechanically activated, like some kind of
That's another
older type
condition. That's
sign.
actually another condition in the ordinance. That's
Okay.
6-89.5 wasn't part of the condition.
And by the way, like Mr. Penke wants to add something. I know he's an expert in billboards. He probably could enlighten us as well as to that issue of the movement.
Yeah, that condition from your ordinance is actually mimicking Title 39, and movement is defined as flashing, bright lights and so forth. It specifically defines the changing of copy over that 1 second period and a minimum of 8 seconds as not movement. And as I said, your ordinances actually mimic a lot of this, the national criteria.
And there is no movement.
There's no movement. Yeah.
So then, They don't satisfy condition number 6. So there's, I guess there's 1, 2, 3, condition number 9, 4, condition number 10, 5 is the 22.1 feet from the dwelling. I believe you don't meet 5 of the conditions, conditional use.
Yes, unless. Okay, so
2, 3, 6, 9, and 10.
per my measurements, we meet 3, but we'll just go with that anyway.
Yeah, if we had satisfied all of the conditions in the ordinance, we'd be in front of the planning board. We'd have to seek approval from the planning board for site plan approval. But certainly if we don't satisfy even just one, we have to come in front of the zoning board. But I think the testimony from Ms. McGurk has been that, we can mitigate all of those concerns raised in that ordinance. I'll ask her another question now, and I think you covered it, but the D3 standard is entirely different than a D1 or a D2 standard. And really, it's a less stringent standard. So you don't, in other words, I think as long as the site can accommodate the use, that's really the critical aspect of a D3 or a D3 conditional use. Am I correct?
Yes, and that we can mitigate any negative impacts from not meeting the specific conditions under the ordinance.
All right, and the fact that this is already a pre-existing site with a billboard certainly satisfies the condition of accommodating the use.
A non-conforming existing billboard.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Fowler, we have 5, correct? That are not met.
Mr. Burke, on number 3, it's 300 feet from any intersection, but the intersection of Barney Avenue and Route 9.
When I read it the first time, I thought that, and then I thought it maybe was just referring, because of the wording, to any overpass. But we'll just go with, we don't meet 3.
All right, and
So
actually,
we don't meet 5 out of the 13.
the billboard we have now doesn't meet that condition. Am I correct?
There's quite a few that don't meet that condition.
Okay, all right.
So you're saying that you don't meet 5 out of the 13 that's on this paper, correct?
Yes.
And also too, on the bulk variances, we have 4, correct?
We have the 2 existing and the buffer. But then there's the setbacks are also variances, but they could be subsumed under the D3 because they're one of the conditions.
I'm talking about the B3. We have 4 ordinances on the bulk variances that you do not meet, correct?
We have the lot frontage and the lot width, and then the buffer. But then the setbacks are also listed as conditions under the conditional use. So I don't know if they would be subsumed under the D3 or added as a bulk.
Just leave ahead, just listed them, if it, I guess, well, minimum front yard setback 30 feet, and then in the rear yard 30 feet, 8.5.
Right. So then we would have 5 bulks.
Right, and any I guess, Ms. McGurk, any type of use that we propose on this site, which would be permitted, would require some bulk variance relief, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
most certainly would.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board? No, okay.
Thank you.
All right, so, Mr. Chairman, I just want to make sure I cover both Mr. Cornell's report and Mr. Fowler's report. I think Mr. Lieber probably touched on most of the comments from Mr. Cornell. I'm just looking at his letter here. Number 1, we have obtained the NJDOT permit. We provided the visual representations in 2A. 3, I think we've covered that through testimony of all 3 witnesses. We have the NJDOT approval letter in number 4. Number 5 is just a general comment that there's no other site issues.
Mr. Chairman, just item 4 had to do with the existing billboard. We were wondering if there ever was a DOT approval for the existing billboard.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Believe it or not, we looked at the database and we found it. So, okay. Numbers, We'll agree to provide that buffer along the two lots of arborvitae's. And certainly number 7, the deed of lot consolidation, that's not a problem. And I think that's it, Mr. Cornell. I don't think there were any other issues. And then in terms of Mr. Fowler.
Excuse me, the visual impact on the adjacent residential properties, I'm not really sure how that was discussed. I think you mentioned that the billboard would be higher than the second-story windows. But still, residents looking out of those second-story windows are going to be looking at a billboard.
Right. They would be looking at a billboard, looking at a billboard now, albeit at a lower height. But I think in terms of mitigation of that issue is the fact that we're going to turn it off. Obviously, it's not going to be on at night. It'll be on at 10 p.m. It's going off. So, and that's a consent. We don't have to do that, but I think it's the right thing to do in that neighborhood. All right. And in terms of Mr. Fowler's report, really most of it was planning testimony, which I think Ms. McGurk covered. There was a question raised about the use of, since lot 23 is paved, there's the paved parking space proposed on lot 22 necessary. That's really just for maintenance purposes. If anyone has to service this sign, we obviously don't want them going on an area where it's not paved.
Lot 23 is paved.
Yeah, but you're talking about the lot on 22, right? Yeah.
But since it's all one.
It's all
lot,
the same application.
consolidated, You do need the paved parking space on the lot 22 with the sign if you already have paved parking on lot 23.
Well, I guess we could dispense with it. Mr. Lieber, any thoughts on that?
I only put it because I wanted to keep it separate and away from that other building. And I don't know if that building's ever going to be used again. But if there is a potential that that building's going to use that parking area, and it almost looks like when you drive by that it is part of that property, I just figured I'll keep the parking spot separate on the other street. This way no one's going to use it.
Is that something that was approved for parking area for that building or just kind of happened over time?
Yeah, I don't know what the prior use was, but certainly I'll leave that up to the board. If you want us to eliminate it, it's fine. I don't think there's incredible maintenance that occurs to a billboard. And
Yeah, I'm just questioning it. So we had met previously and gone over some of the information. I wasn't sure if lot 23 was going to be part of the application. A little bit of inconsistency to straighten that out tonight, but I'm okay with the staying on lot 22 for service for sign, just in case. Again, I think our attorney was questioning whether or not that paving on lot 23 was ever approved to be part of parking for the former restaurant use.
Okay. Okay. And I think that's really it on Mr. Fowler's report. So, Mr. Chairman, I don't have any further testimony. Certainly, we're available for any questions, any comments, concerns.
Oh, I'm going to open it to the public first. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak in reference to this application?
Good evening.
Please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Can we get your name for the record?
My name is Karam and I live on 49 Carney Avenue.
What's your full name?
Karamveer, last name Gosal.
Can you spell that?
Okay. First name K-A-R-M.
Okay.
Last name G-O-S-A-L.
And your address again?
49 Carney Avenue. Cerebral. Yeah, I support the new billboard. The condition of the old billboard is pretty bad, and it makes the neighborhood look bad also. And the old billboard has graffiti signs, and it's worn out. And putting the new billboard, it will make the neighborhood look more nicer. Yeah, pretty much that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, good evening.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
What's your name and address for the record?
My name is Kiran Raval, Kiran. Raval is the last, Raval. I live at 9 Melrose Avenue.
No.
Raval, Raval. VAL, Raval. So yes, I would like to add one more green light towards the digital billboard because we moved in last year and yeah, daily I have to drop my child on that street and it looks daily ugly that something is there. And if someone is also taking care to replace it with a new digital and a modern way of presentation or whatever for the business purpose, but it will look good onto the community and the area where I live. I feel good in case if it is being done. So yeah, that was my point to add.
Okay. Thank you. The board have any questions?
There's uplights on this digital billboard? I'm sorry, what was that? There's uplights.
That's just a rendering. Yeah, that's, yeah, it's, we have, no, there's no uplighting on this. Yeah. That's just a rendering.
Mr. Sachs, 1 second. Is there anyone else from the public wish to speak? Hearing none, I close the public portion.
Mr. Chairman, just one more thing before you have any questions of me. My client did circulate a petition, believe it or not, community petition form. I just want to read it into the record. And it says, support for replacing old billboard on Route 9. We, the undersigned residents of the community, support the removal of the existing deteriorated billboard located on Route 9, which has been the subject to graffiti and visual blight. We further support the installation of a new modern digital billboard in its place, subject to appropriate regulations and community standards. Petition statement: by signing below, I affirm that I am a resident of the community. I support the demolition and removal of the current billboard structure on Route 9. I support the installation of a new updated digital billboard in its place. And it's got the signatures of 5 residents, Deborah Kinhor at 24 Kearney, Kiran Raval at 9 Melrose, Dareen Patel at 21 Kearney, Karmir Kosal at 49 Kearney, and Karan Parikh at 5 Melrose Avenue. So, you know, this is a billboard that's been here for quite some time. I think you've heard the testimony of our professionals. Quite frankly, it poses probably a traffic safety hazard because of its height right now and where it's located within the right of way. But I just wanted to read this into the record, Mr. Chairman.
Just a question about that.
Sure.
How was that presented to them? Do they know the size?
Yeah.
Do they see the imagery of it?
Yeah.
Things like that?
Yeah.
Was that petition taken to everyone in Melrose?
No, we're just taken to some of the immediate residents over there. So,
Okay. Mr. Sachs, you bring up this. That's the billboard that was up there before.
correct.
And this is the new billboard.
That's correct.
It's apples and oranges.
Well,
There's not even a comparison.
Well, it's apples and oranges in the sense that, yes, that is a static billboard that's there now, which we don't see any of those built. So now all we see are digital.
And this billboard that you want to put up is only 5 feet smaller than the one that's on the northbound side.
In height, yes.
Yes, so they're almost identical.
Right.
I mean, for people to sign a petition talking about this one and this one here, there's such a difference here.
I mean, if there's a concern about the height, we certainly can revisit that issue, Mr. Green. I certainly can have that discussion with my client. I mean, certainly he's within the height requirements as long as it's below 50 feet. And actually the facing is within the ordinance requirements as well. But if there's a concern from the board as to what we're proposing, we could have that discussion.
How much lower can you go?
I don't know. I'd have to have that discussion with my client. But, I mean, if there's a suggestion, certainly.
Sight lines that are crucial.
Probably not. I mean, I'm sure that section of Route 9, I think, has a certain grade that we could lower it and it would still be visible. Well, if we could, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, but I was going to say, if we could take a 5-minute break, I could perhaps get that answer for you.
Well, there's another concern. We have 4 bulk variances here. And we counted them up and there's 6 D variances here.
Well, they're not 6 separate. It's 1 D variance, but it's, and I don't think it's 6. I think it's 5 conditions that.
5 conditions.
5 conditions that we wouldn't meet.
I mean, we're talking a lot of conditions here.
Well, I don't think it's really the number. I think it's whether or not we can mitigate any of the impact on the billboard, on the residences. And that's really all it's about. And that's why we voluntarily offered to turn this off at a particular hour. I mean, we could not meet 13 conditions if that was the case, and we'd still need 1 D3 use variance for that. But
Are you saying that the possibility exists that you're going to come back next month?
Well, if you want to give me a few minutes, I know it's getting late. I know you probably want to get home. I could talk to my client and see what height we could go to, or if there's a suggestion even from the board.
I don't know if that's the only issue, but I think that is one of the issues.
Okay.
Because it seems like it's higher than the houses. Doesn't seem.
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly your typical 2.5-story house would be 35 feet. Yeah, I understand that.
And it's also, it is close to the house. So the height and the nearness, they are a factor.
The nearness could be addressed by reduction in the area of the sign, but you can't really move the sign closer to 9, I would think, but the area of the sign also.
We could look into reducing the facing of the sign, I think was what Mr. Fowler's talking about. So, I mean, Mr. Chairman, if we could come back if you want us to. I know it's getting a little late here. We could determine whether we can reduce the height and whether we could reduce the facing.
Well, I know the height is one of the issues, but there's other issues here too. We have a borough ordinance requirement of the minimum lot coverage of 20,000, and you have 7,900. Another one is the lot width is 100, and you have 67. Another one is the minimum setback is 30, and you have 10. I mean, there's a lot of issues here that we need to address here, and I don't think that we can do this tonight.
All right, well, fair enough. I mean, certainly, I think anything that gets developed on this site, let's say for argument's sake, we knock down the billboard and we wanted to build some type of commercial structure. We'd be back in front of you seeking bulk variance relief for pre-existing nonconformities. And I'll use the analogy. I actually said this in jest outside beforehand. Sometimes if you have strict compliance with the ordinance, maybe you'll build a photo mat. For the older people here who remember photo mats, that's what you're going to build. And that's why you exist as a zoning board of adjustment, to grant variance relief. So, I mean, really, the billboard itself is not there are pre-existing nonconformities, but it's the pole and it's the facing that's in the air. Any type of commercial use I put on this, any structure I put on this property would require the same bulk variances that you just suggested, Mr. Chairman.
And the other thing that we have on the northbound side, Route 9 and 35, we have one that's 50 foot.
Yeah.
Right there.
I
And this
understand.
one here is almost identical across the street. I mean, this isn't the Garden State Parkway or the Turnpike.
Well, it is It is a state highway, Mr. Chairman.
Well, you know what I
Pretty busy
mean,
state
as
highway.
far as as far as houses go in the area.
And that's why we're offering to be a good neighbor. By the way, let me just indicate, my client, who's in the audience, Mr. Frank Osuncio, he owns he's developed quite a bit of property in that area, in the Melrose section. He's built some of the houses that are there. He's got a project that's going to come in on Anjeski. Actually, it'll come before this board probably within a few months. So he's well known in that area. He's well regarded. He wants to be a good neighbor. But I understand some of your concerns. I'm not asking you to take a vote tonight because you only have 6 members anyway. And I'd like to have a full board. But we will talk about reducing the height. We'll talk about reducing the facing of the sign as well to mitigate, to even do further mitigation. And I think when we come back next month, hopefully you'll be in a position to be comfortable with this.
So therefore, are you making a motion to come back next month and pursue this further?
Depends what night it is, Mr. Chairman. Let me get my calendar. All right?
It would be the 22nd of July.
Yeah, I know. We have another one in South Amboy. How about the height? Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just spoke to my client. We can reduce the height and we can reduce the facing of that. And if you don't mind, I'll have Mr. Lieber explain the rationale as to what we can do. I'll just put it on the record and.
Well, I also want you to know that it's not only just the height, it's the other things that I just mentioned to you.
Yeah, well, Mr. Green, I don't think I could ever address the other things just based on these are pre-existing nonconformities. I can't get additional land. The lot size cannot change. The lot frontage cannot change. None of that's going to change. The only thing I can do under the condition, I can't worry about the bulk variances because I have to address the conditional use standards, but I am willing to reduce the height of that billboard and we're willing to reduce the facing. Let me just have Mr. Lieber spend 1 minute on describing what we could do with the facing, if you don't mind.
Hi. I'm doing some math here. I actually fell into a similar situation, also on Route 9. A conforming lot is 20,000 square feet, and this lot is 40% of 20,000 square feet, which was one of the bulk variances you noted. Now, if we took 40% and multiplied it by the maximum sign square footage area, 675, you get 270. So we'd be open to reducing the sign face to 270 square feet, almost in conjunction with the size of the lot, and then we'd also bring the height down. So it's proportional.
The area now, the proposed area.
Well, right now, I think it's 378. 378,
Go to,
270.
right.
it's like about a third,
Yeah.
60%.
And I'm trying to be practical that it's a smaller lot, so it gets a smaller sign versus what's further down the highway, which has a lot more land.
2/3 the size.
Yeah, and just for the record, the existing sign right now is 220 square feet. So.
Height,
35 would be the top. And it would probably be somewhere around like a 27 by 10 screen. So it'd still be 25 feet off the ground. But I think it brings it more into, what's the word? Like comparatively for the size of the lot that we're dealing with here, we're keeping it in line with that.
Cornell, you have anything to add to this?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I understand what the applicant's proposing. He's kind of proportioning the size of the lot as per ordinance and scaling it to comply with the size that's here now. So it's still, you still have the same number of variances, but he's trying to go through and make a little less of a I'm trying to think of the right word. It's less of it's not going to stand out as much being on a smaller lot.
So the current one is E20, so like 22 by 10.
Yeah, right now it's 220 square feet. Yeah,
This one would be what, 270?
270. And maximum height 35 feet to the top of the sign.
It appears, I think, in Mr. Greg's testimony, she had said that the dwelling was 22 feet from the sign, and to be 30, so reduce the sign by 9 foot length. Oh, I'm sorry, 9 feet, that would apply to test for that condition. Seems like it's.
I have to go back to that later.
36 and 27. I think, she's already given the 23 feet from the closing building, dwelling on lot 5.
It was lot 21, which is also lot 20 and 21 is one lot. I don't know why I have lot 5 in my mind. But the setback there is 15 and a half feet, so it would probably be closer to 25 and a half. But the sign that's out there today is so outdated that I feel like this is like bringing things to the 21st century.
You know the height of the existing sign? You might have mentioned it, but just.
Is it 14? Let me take a
16.
Sorry, it's 16.
Yeah, I think, so 16 and this is 35. I think that's one of the issues. So much higher.
You don't want to have it low because if it's low, then it obstructs the view of traffic.
Yeah, I don't think your police department would permit me to.
From a traffic point of view.
Yeah.
You don't want it low, but from a residential point of view. You don't want it.
No, I understand that, but from the residential point of view now, it's no higher than your 2.5-story home. We're turning off the illumination at 10 p.m. So therefore there's no annoyance. In terms of the bulk, in terms of the bulk variances, there is nothing I could build on this lot that wouldn't require variance relief. And I'm probably would have a tough time building a photo mat. And I think your attorney would advise you that you can't zone me out of, and I think the other attorney mentioned it earlier this evening, you can't zone a property out of inutility. It's got to have some use. So the bulk variances are all pre-existing nonconformities. I think we are abating one of them now by reducing the facing.
You're
Mitigating
improving
it.
it.
We're improving it. We're improving it. So.
Just looking at this, when you're on lot 21, which is part of 20, you're not seeing speed. The screen is angled for the traffic lane. So really the only house that would have a view of the screen is across Carney Avenue. All the neighbors down there, they're not going to see that video screen at all.
But they're going to see the structure.
Yeah, you'll
You're gonna
see
the
it.
back-
I mean,
You're
but
going to see the backside of the structure.
Well, they're going to see about, yeah, but they're also going to see, if I were to come before this board to seek a commercial use, I'm not sure what the height requirements are in the B3 zone, but I think it's probably more than 35 feet. I could build a structure, I could build a structure 35 feet on this property that they're going to see all the time with lights on 24/7. If it's a commercial use, it's going to have security lighting on that's going to be on all night. Anyway, those are the concessions we can offer.
But the billboard that's up there now doesn't even have any lights. I mean,
It does. It has uplighting. I think it has uplighting. And certainly we could install uplighting on it. Yeah, maybe not, maybe it doesn't now, but we certainly, if we decided to keep that sign, we could install uplighting. It would be on 24/7. I don't even need any approval from the board for that. But again, we're removing a billboard that's presently in the right of way. And I can't, if I were to try to recreate that same 16-foot billboard, your police department wouldn't let me do that because it's too low.
Yes. Thirty-five feet is the maximum height in the B3 zone, so you would be fine with that.
And we're adding on, so there's a lot of billboards on that. Was it 8 section? You can get it on the other side.
and the billboard that he wants to put up is apples and oranges compared to the one he wants to do. And there's one across the street.
This is one side, they won't put two sides. These images do not represent the sides. What they won't put up.
Just to clarify, the sign area would be reduced from 378 proposed to 270 square feet proposed. And the height would be reduced from 45 feet proposed to 35.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Well, before you do
We
that,
only have
Mr.
6
Chairman,
members here.
I understand that. I know it's not uncommon if you could poll the board to see if there's any issues with respect to this, and then certainly I can determine whether I want to take a vote tonight or think about some further modifications. So.
Yeah, you can do that. You can ask each member, if they have continuing issues, and you do that in order to help the applicant respond to any issues that might be out there. So I don't know if you want to go down the line.
How am I going to phrase this?
You're saying your continued issue is with the size and height and quantity of billboards. Is that what you're saying?
I want to take a vote from each board member.
It's not a vote.
Not a vote. It's non-binding.
It's basically
Non-binding.
what are your continuing concerns,
What are your continuing concerns concerning this application,
if any?
if any?
Mr. Chairman, I'll start. My major concern is the height, even at 35 feet, if it's possible to be lower. But also the size, you're very close to where the original, the existing billboard is. So it's less of a factor. If it's possible to lower that height a little bit. It's not just because they're going to see what's being advertised. It's just the whole structure. Most of the neighbors are looking at it. Drive down the residential street. You're going to see houses, and then you're going to see the back of the structure. Certainly, that type of structure is not a residential structure. Another house there is a residential structure.
We're in a B3 zone though, Mr. Kaczynski. Yeah, I'm in the B3 zone. Yeah, but that's, I appreciate the comment.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I concur. I have a question though to our attorney. So I see the one house that would be really affected more than any other house. It's the White House on the corner. They'd be looking directly at this sign. Are you guys, are they required to go out? I know you had 5 people on your, what is it, a petition, but are they required to go to all the neighbors and get?
Well, they have to give public notice to everyone within 200.
So nobody complained, but obviously nobody,
They would have received notice, which was
yeah,
particularly descriptive in this sense about the exact size of the billboard being proposed, the height of it,
okay.
where it's located. And it's up to them whether or not they feel like it's worth coming out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and just for the record, no one from the neighborhood has objected to it, or at
Okay.
least no one here this evening, so.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if I were you, I'd come back, but
No, I probably am going to come back because we may have to look at reducing the height a little bit further, but anyway, all right.
Mr. Rama?
I have the same issues that you mentioned. I also have an issue of adding another billboard. There's too many billboards on that road. Now you're adding one that is about the size of the one that's on the northbound side. It gets to a point where it's too much.
Mr. Cooper?
I'm in agreement with the other members in terms of concerns, particularly the height.
My concerns are we have too many billboards. It's apples and oranges as far as what you want to put up. And I'm also concerned, we have borough ordinances here. And we're not even close to getting to them. So that's my concerns.
Same concerns, height with billboards.
Okay. I mean, number of billboards I can't control. I mean, obviously, the state of New Jersey has issued a roadside permit for us and has determined, well, no. We have one now for this particular, for a digital billboard. We have a roadside permit for that, subject obviously to your approval. We also had a permit from back in the 1950s, which was still valid. I can't control the number of billboards that are on Route 9 in Sayreville or in Old Bridge or in East Brunswick or wherever they are. They are state highways. It is a form of free speech. It's a form of protected speech under the Stafford Township Supreme Court case. All right, but with that said, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate your polling, I'm not going to ask for a vote tonight. I will come back on July 22nd. Probably, Ms. McGurk, are you available that night? You are? All right, because maybe, I don't know, I know Mr. Lieber's not available, but I'm not sure I need him for purposes of that evening. But I'll come back on July 22nd and we'll take these comments into consideration. We'll see what else we could do.
And we will try very hard to get 7 members here, so.
I appreciate that. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right, thank you. And thank you for accommodating us. I know it's getting late, so thank you.
You could write a book on that, and if the board,
They already have a billboard, so it's not like we're preventing them from using that building. This is
it,
a new billboard.
I would rather take a second to look at that and give you the answer before next meeting than to try to tell you off the cuff.
Hey, John, you all right? John? Minutes from last meeting. You have Mr. Bella present.
Yeah, I know,
Good night. Thank you.
You fixed it? Okay, but not on my sheet, it's not fixed.
No, after, I noticed it after I did it.
Okay, so don't bring it up.
Yeah.
Okay. All All right, the next item is there anyone who wishes to speak on public comments on issues not relating to the present or pending applications or litigation? Is there anyone here that wants to speak? Hearing none, I close that portion of public comments. We have 4 resolutions. I'm going to start off with 2307, which is 6200 Main Street. Has everyone had the opportunity to read that resolution?
Yes.
What's the pleasure of the board concerning that resolution?
Move the resolution be approved.
I have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Roll call. Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Esposito.
Yes.
Mr. Emma.
Yes.
Mrs. Gottstein.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
The next resolution is 147 Madison Street, Davis. Has everyone had the opportunity to read that resolution?
Yes.
Pleasure of the board concerning that resolution.
I move the resolution be approved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve that resolution. Roll call. Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Yes.
Mr. Esposito.
Yes.
Mr. Emma.
Yes.
Mrs. Gottstein.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
The third resolution is 3 Milliken Road. Has everyone had the opportunity to look over that resolution?
Yes.
Pleasure of the board.
Move the resolution be approved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve that resolution. Roll call.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Yes.
Mr. Esposito.
Yes.
Mr. Emma.
Yes.
Mrs. Gottstein.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
The fourth resolution is 117 Scott Avenue. Has everyone had the opportunity to look over that resolution?
Yes. I move the resolution be approved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve that resolution. Roll call.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Yes.
Mr. Esposito.
Yes.
Mr. Emma.
Yes.
Mrs. Gottstein.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Has everyone had an opportunity to look over the minutes of the May 27, 2026 Board of Adjustment?
Yes. I move the minutes be approved.
A motion and a second. Roll call.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Yes.
Mr. Esposito.
Yes.
Mr. Emma.
Yes.
Mrs. Gottstein.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
I need a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting's adjourned.
Having security out there, angry people. I like.
Very good job, everyone. Very good job.
I was saying no.